to store any tools. So I went over there just to borrow his tools, and whenever I got over there, he ended up just taking over and doing it all for me. So I appreciate that. I'm thankful for that. And then let's see some other things. Some voiceover stuff. There's been some exciting things been going on for my voiceovers. Some puzzling things too. I got cast and got chosen to do a children's book, and I accepted the offer. The offer came through and everything, and I accepted the offer, and I haven't heard back from the guy. You're supposed to. I go through the website ACX, and then basically what ACX is, it's a website ran by Audible and Amazon. And what you do is you set up a profile and everything and put up some samples, and then you can either just sit back and wait for people to contact you, which is kind of dumb. Because if you do that, more than likely you're not going to get reached out to. Or you can audition for different books. And so I've been auditioning for books, and I auditioned for this kid's book, and they got back with me and gave me an offer to do the job. And I accepted the offer, and what's supposed to happen after that is they're supposed to send you the manuscript of the book. Well, I sent a message to the producer thanking him for choosing me and asking for a manuscript, and I didn't hear back from him. I started on 1 day, 2 day, and there's a deadline as to when you're supposed to get the first 15 minutes done, and then a little bit further, when the product's supposed to be delivered. And it was getting closer to that first deadline, and I'm like, well, I can't start this book until I get the manuscript. So I reach out to the producer, and he finally sends it probably a couple days later, apologizing that he was out of town or something like that and wasn't able to reach a computer. And so he gave me the manuscript. I looked at the manuscript, and I was able to do like I said, you're supposed to do a portion of it and then send it in for approval. I sent it in. I did the recording, sent it in for approval, and now I still haven't heard back from him. So I got in contact with ACX, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up actually taking myself off of the project. I don't want to do that, especially since I recorded most of the book just in that sample set. But if I don't hear back from this guy in the next couple of days, I'm going to contact ACX and actually have myself taken off the project, because there's no point in actually going further if you can't. If there's no communication, then there's no point in actually trying to go any further with the relationship. I was excited about the book. I'm glad somebody actually gave me an offer. But then, on top of that, a few weeks ago, I actually did have a production company reach out to me, asking me to be a part of their narrators list. And I was thinking, okay, well, yeah, sure. I'd be happy to be on your narrators list. And what I was thinking is that they would put me on the list, and then I might hear from them in a month or two, whatever. It was not 2 days after that once we finished the contract and everything, they reached out to me and actually gave me my first book to narrate. So I'm really excited to get started on that. And thankfully, these deadlines are it takes about 2.5 weeks. They have a 2.5 week deadline. So I'm excited to get started on that. I'm looking forward to doing my first book with them, and hopefully it looks like this is going to be a pretty consistent way of getting work. So I'm excited about that. And as most of y'all probably have heard, and me making mention of how I've been coughing and snorting and making all these very unattractive noises in the microphone, you can tell that I haven't been feeling very well this weekend. On Friday, my voice started going wonky on me, and my throat started hurting and everything. So I really hope I'm not coming down with something. I'm hoping it's just something really quick and will go away in a couple of days, because I do need to get started on these books, and I need to have a couple of jobs that I need to complete off of Fiverr. And so I haven't been... I've wanted to do a whole lot more. There was a whole lot more things that I wanted to do this weekend as far as doing some marketing for my business and try to set up my site better up on Fiverr, maybe put up a couple more gigs and kind of do some streamlining and doing a little bit more focusing on certain gigs and certain voices, and like doing a intro and outro for a podcast or something. I've really wanted to really promote that, and also maybe doing an announcer voice. I've seen some people talking about doing political stuff, and I'm like, not happening. I don't care how much it was. I really don't care how much money you're going to pay me unless it is at a huge, exorbitant amount. I'm just going to stay away from that. I do not care about doing political stuff at all. None. I would be afraid that if I actually started doing this and tried to read the script that they gave me, it would tick me off so much that I'd end up, so it's not worth it to me. It's just not worth it to me. So that's been my week. That's some of the things that I've been doing, and that's what's been going on. All right, moving on to the next portion of the podcast. It is the question of the week. And my question of the week for you today is, what was your favorite TV show growing up? I have a lot of catching up to do. I have a lot of TV shows that I did not watch and I have not watched and probably never have even heard of. And so when I was growing up, I actually wasn't allowed to watch TV. So it wasn't it just wasn't something I did. And so I didn't have a favorite TV show growing up. I mean, there were a few times that I snuck over to my grandma's house in Ohio, or I didn't sneak over there. I visited. And there's times I, would see some things. I love watching the Looney Tunes and Bugs Bunny and all those things. And that actually gave me a love listening to Mel Blanc. If you hear some of my other stories, you'll know that Mel Blanc is one of the major influences on my voiceover career. I love listening to him. Mel Blanc, Red Skelton, things like, shows like that. But anyway, so I didn't really have any TV shows that I watched growing up. So what are some of your favorite shows that you loved to watch whenever you were growing up? I would love to hear from you. You can message me at project323media.com. Also, you can check out our Facebook, facebook.com, project323media. And put your messages on the page. Let me know what you think, and let me know what your show was. And you can just reach out to us. Send us an email at project323media@gmail.com. And let me know what your answers are. And that's about going to do it. I want to thank you so much for sticking around and listening to this show. I know it's a little bit longer than what I normally do, so hopefully you stick around for the whole thing. And if you like the show, reach out to us and let us know what you think. Rate us on iTunes. We are on Apple Podcast. We are on Spotify, iHeartRadio. There are several SoundCloud, YouTube, and every now and then I'll post a little clip on Instagram as well. You can find me on Instagram. I am Frog Voiceovers. Frog Voiceovers by Todd Napper. And also, you can find us on Facebook, Project 323 Media. Also, you can find my voiceovers on Facebook as well, Frog Voiceovers by Todd Napper. And find our pages, like them, and follow them for more information about us. I'd like to thank Luke Pixler for the music that you're hearing in the background right now, and most of the music that you hear on our show is made by Luke Pixler. He does an amazing job with his music and does amazing things all the way around. I mean, I really appreciate him allowing me to use his music on my show. I want to thank my wife for giving me the opportunity and the chance to do these podcasts. And I know that some of these podcasts do take some time away from her, and so I appreciate her allowing me to do these things. And I also want to thank thisdaytrivia.com for the information that I got for Today in History. And thank you so much for listening to the show. I am so thankful that you have taking your time to listen to me. And if nobody's listening to me, then, well, I guess I'm just talking to myself. So I appreciate me for listening. Anyway, oh man, if you like what you hear, share it with your friends and reach out to me. Let me know what you think, and yeah, give me some ideas about what to do with the show. So, all right, thank y'all so much, and I'll see you next week.